Everyone talks about healing yourself. Books, social media, coaches everywhere. They all say the same thing. Fix yourself, work on yourself, heal yourself. But what if I told you that chasing healing is actually keeping you stuck? Today, I'm going to explain to you why healing yourself is actually overrated and what actually matters if you want real transformation. Hi, everybody. I am Jackie, and I work with people who feel stuck in their trauma, in their patterns, in loops. I work with you to reclaim your power, to learn how to trust yourself, and to live aligned with who you actually are. On my channel, I share insights and tools and practices for real transformation, the kind that actually lands in your body and in your energy, not just your mind. But today I want to talk about why healing yourself is actually very overrated and what really matters if you're looking for true transformation. So let me be honest. Chasing healing is everywhere, right? Journals, meditation, affirmations, therapy, manifestation. All of these things promise that if you do enough, you will finally feel okay. But here's the catch. This obsession with healing yourself can actually backfire. Why? Because it reinforces self-abandonment. You're constantly focused on what's wrong instead of noticing what is already whole. You're being trained to look outside of yourself or to be focused on the version of yourself that you perceive is broken, and it keeps you in loops. You try therapy and journaling and meditation and energy work, and still you feel frustrated and blocked and drained. Why does that happen? Because the system you're following is teaching you that you're not enough yet. So you keep chasing. You keep doing more, thinking that you will finally arrive somewhere. And I know this personally because for 15 years, I was chasing healing. The moment I learned about childhood wounds when I was 26 years old, I journaled, I meditated, I manifested. I read books and I tried every single program out there, always looking for that missing piece, thinking maybe it was in the next book or the next course or the next thing. If I could just finally heal myself, I would feel relief. But instead, I kept running in circles. I kept feeling stuck. And the more that I chased, the less whole I felt. So yes, chasing healing can actually keep you stuck. So if chasing the idea of healing yourself is overrated, then what actually works? There are 3 foundational things that make transformation actually stick. And the good news is that you don't need to do endless programs or fix yourself in order to access them. First is self-sourcing. This means trusting your own energy, trusting your own worth, and trusting your sense of self-safety. All of it coming from inside of you, not from anyone else or any specific technique. Self-sourcing is the foundation that makes everything possible. You see, because most of us have been taught to look outside of the self for love and safety and approval. We chase healing modalities or other people's advice or the next workshop thinking that it's going to make us whole. But absolutely nothing external is going to give you that sense of felt safety that only comes from within inside of you. So instead of endlessly journaling to figure out what's wrong, pause and ask yourself, am I aligned with my energy right now? Am I enough simply as I am? That moment, that little check-in, that is self-sourcing. It's tiny and it is subtle, but it is profoundly grounding. You are learning to be the source, not the seeker. The second is identity alignment. Transformation doesn't happen by fixing trauma. It happens by stepping into an identity that already perceives itself as whole. Integration over fixing. This is where so many people get stuck because they think that they have to change themselves in order to live their life fully. But the truth is, you don't have to become somebody new. You just have to live as the version of yourself that is already whole. So for me, this became very clear when I was working with my sacral energy. I spent years trying to heal sexual shame emotional and creative blocks. All of that lives inside of the sacral. I did journaling and practices and somatic work and hip openers, all of those things. And yet nothing actually shifted. That's when I had the realization that I don't actually need to fix anything. I need to embody somebody that feels safe to express, to create, and to feel. And once I lived in alignment with that identity, the energy completely shifted. All of the shame loosened, creativity flowed, and I finally felt free in my body and in my emotions. Identity alignment isn't about perfection, and it's not about being fully healed. It's about living as the person you are capable of being right now, despite the patterns, the blocks, the discomfort, and loving yourself through it anyway. The third foundational piece is energy awareness. Real transformation happens in your body and in your energy, not your mind alone. All of the healing practices like journaling and affirmations and therapy, they're all tools. They're all valuable. But if your nervous system is still tense or your energy is being blocked from moving, then none of it is going to stick. Energy awareness is noticing, where am I contracting? Where am I giving away my power? Where am I feeling safe or unsafe? It's about actually tuning into your body and learning to regulate your nervous system so that your mind and your body can actually work together. So let's do a simple practice right now. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly, and take a deep breath in. And exhale. Quietly say to yourself, I am enough exactly as I am. I source my own safety and my own power. And sit with that for a minute. Let it land in your body. This tiny little shift of grounding your energy and self-sourcing your safety is far more powerful than chasing endless programs of trying to heal and fix yourself. You've just taken a small step into embodied transformation. If you do this consistently, even just a minute every single day, it starts to ripple into your energy and into your identity that no amount of external healing advice can. So we've talked about self-sourcing and identity alignment and energy awareness. Let's look at the concept of healing itself and why the way most people think about it can actually keep them stuck. So here is a big truth that most people don't recognize. Identifying as somebody who is on a healing journey can actually trap you. The very word healing suggests that there is something broken that needs to be fixed. And when that becomes a part of your identity, it keeps you focused on what you perceive is wrong instead of what is already whole inside of you. Now, I want to be really clear here. Healing spaces and healing communities are very important, especially in the beginning. When someone is waking up to their trauma or patterns or nervous system survival strategies, finding language and validation and safety in community is a really important and grounding tool. It can be life-changing. I am not dismissing that at all. But here is what I've noticed, especially in online spaces. I see people staying in the same community healing spaces for years, same conversations, same pain points, same identity of I'm healing. And what's keeping them stuck isn't actually the lack of effort or commitment. It's the belief underneath it all that I am broken and I need fixing. When you label yourself as healing, you are unconsciously keeping yourself in a loop of constantly fixing yourself. You move from program to program, technique to technique, book to book, journaling, meditation, somatic work. And yes, you might make progress, but the focus stays on the gap between where you currently are and who you think you need to become. And that gap keeps you stuck in self-improvement instead of self-presence. So at some point, the healing container that helped support you can be the very thing that keeps you from stepping fully into yourself. Real transformation does not come from fixing yourself. It comes from learning to inhabit yourself fully. It's about being able to feel your emotions fully, being able to trust your own decisions, and to be able to respond to life from your own energy and from presence. It's about living aligned with your identity instead of chasing some version of yourself that you think is complete. So think of it this way. Instead of asking yourself, how can I heal? You ask yourself, how can I live fully in my body, in my energy, in my identity right now? That is the shift that changed everything for me. Because like I said, I spent 15 years thinking that I needed to heal myself. I tried everything: therapy, journaling, courses, reading books, meditations, energy work, you name it, I did it. I was constantly chasing the idea that there was something wrong inside of me and I needed to fix it and change it. But the real breakthrough didn't happen through any of that. It happened the moment I decided to quit healing. And I remember very clearly saying to myself, I am done. I am done with healing. I'm done trying to fix myself. I'm not broken. I am enough as I am, and I don't need to heal to show up fully in my life. The energetic shift that came with that decision, actually claiming myself instead of chasing healing, was immediate and it was profound. In that moment, I felt something lift inside of me that 15 years of self-improvement did not touch. Shame loosened, creativity flowed, and my energy finally felt like it was mine. That's when I realized that transformation is not about healing yourself. It's about stopping the chase. It's about inhabiting your body fully, trusting your energy, and living as yourself right now. So here is how you can start reframing healing today. Number one, stop defining yourself as healing. Notice how that label might be keeping you focused on what's missing instead of what's present. Number two, focus on embodiment and alignment. So ask yourself, am I living in my energy? Am I trusting myself? Am I fully inhabiting my body and my emotions? Number three, treat all the practices as supports, not solutions. Meditation, journaling, energy work, all valuable, but they work best when you are grounded in your own presence instead of chasing completion. When you shift from chasing healing to fully inhabiting yourself, the transformation unfolds naturally. You stop running after an outcome and you start living in your own power and your own presence. So let's do a quick reflection together. Close your eyes for a quick minute and take a deep breath. Think about one area where you have been chasing healing. Now ask yourself, how can I inhabit myself fully in this area instead of trying to fix it? Even that small awareness is a step towards integration and alignment and liberation, the kind that actually changes your experience instead of keeping you stuck in loops. So to recap, identifying as healing can trap you. What actually matters is self-sourcing, identity alignment, and energetic awareness. Healing is not the goal. It is the natural byproduct of what happens when you learn to inhabit yourself fully, of living embodied and aligned and fully present in your own energy. If you want a simple guide on how to start self-sourcing, I've included a link to my Mind, Body, Soul Alignment Guide in the video's description. And if this video helped you, make sure you tap all the buttons so that you receive notification when I release new content. I'll see you in the next video.